are listening to an Atomic Broadcasting production, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation. And remember, do your part, such as like, comment, rate, and don't forget to tell a friend to tune in for an Atomic Time.
Now, where did we leave off? Ah, yes. The party finally cornered Saito, who had found an amulet producing a spirit-like sword. As Val dealt the finishing blow with her glaive, Saito dropped the amulet at the feet of the party.
So, I went down to Sedalia, my hometown, with for my little brother's 19th birthday.
Happy birthday.
And he's going to college down there for art and stuff, and he's taking a lot of art classes. And we were like, what do we want to do? And he's like, let's go to the art museum at my college. And I was like, sure, that sounds interesting. Olivia was all for it.
A man of class.
And we went in there, and the whole thing was built around a glass-blown chandelier that looks like a mix of jellyfish heads and like tentacles all coming
so
out.
nice.
And you
That
can
is
see it on
sick.
all 3 floors. It is like all visible to be seen from
That
different
is
angles.
So cool.
And it's amazing. And it reminded me back in college when I took I took the visual arts class. Did anyone else take visual arts?
No.
Was it just me in here?
What was the history of the visual arts?
Yeah, I think so.
I took that class.
One of the sections was all about glass blowing art,
I did not have that section.
and it stands out to me because one, I love watching it. It's amazing.
It's
great.
mesmerizing.
But the documentary series we watched is a dude in Venice, Italy. So he's on one of those boats with like
The gondola?
I don't know if it was a gondola, but it might have been. He's got a big puffy shirt, billowy, colorful. He's always wearing that same shirt but different colors every time. He's got like this crazy curly grayish black hair and an eye patch.
What?
What?
And he's sailing around on a boat
Is this a
talking
pirate?
about glass blowing. I don't know who this man is. I don't remember.
What are his qualifications?
But
I'm on a boat.
but
He's a pirate.
Richard the
him
Pirate.
and
With an
Company.
eye
him and the crew of people who blow glass there, it was amazing to watch, but I just can't escape this glass-blowing pirate that I just love so much. I love that
I need
stuff.
to know
It's-
who this is.
It's
I want to
such
call
a
him Matizio.
amazing,
Matizio
looking,
the glass-blowing
dangerous-looking art style.
yeah.
Yeah.
It always
I-
looks like I would die if I tried to
Right?
do it.
I for whatever reason, I love art styles like glass blowing's one, but things that have high temperature, so glass blowing,
Forging.
any of that kind of deal. I don't know what it is about taking a substance that is usually a solid and then raising it to their liquid or almost liquid temperature and then molding it to your design. It just
It's
fascinates
super
me.
cool.
It
Yeah.
is the will of human race to want to manipulate nature.
It fascinates me as well, but I think for a slightly different reason. And it's because I look at whatever the metal, the glass, whatever, and I'm just like, I need to touch it. I need to touch
I'm glad I'm
the
not the
hotness.
only one.
What does it feel like?
Not
Exactly.
Not gonna lie, I've thought that too. It's like I just want to like whenever they're doing like the little rods and they're blowing up in the torch, and it's like I don't know, wrap it around your finger or something, make it
Right.
curlicue or something
Right.
like that.
It's the same issue with the lava.
Bad idea,
I'm just
but
like, I want to
Don't touch it.
bad
Maybe
idea.
when you're on your deathbed, you can go through all these things that you're not supposed
I have
to do.
so many. Like I have if I had no self-control list of just harmful things that I want to know what feels like. It's like a bucket list, except for if I ever go and like lose my sense of self-control. Like
Is
I
that
want to
a
know what it
normal
feels like to
thing
get
for
bit
people
by
to
a
have?
shark.
Because I have that
Ow.
too.
I don't know why I do. I just do.
Wear a shark suit.
Sorry.
What?
I'm wondering if that's a normal list of things for people to have, because I have a list too.
It's it's called an intrusive thought, usually stopped in the frontal cortex, I think.
But it's not an intrusive thought.
Don't
It's a
quote me
list.
on
It
that.
is
It
a
is a list.
pre-written list.
What is on your list?
It's not very intrusive. What?
I have I want to
Frontal
get bitten
lobe?
by a shark. What's one on yours?
know.
I mean, well, obviously there's like biting into the poisonous mushrooms. There's just like, what does that
That's
feel on
fair.
my teeth?
That's
I mean,
fair.
I'm probably gonna die,
Ew.
or sticking your finger in like lava or something.
Yeah.
But
Intrusive Thoughts 101.
Mm-hmm.
Lava edition.
luckily, I've never been in the situation where I was given the opportunity.
Oh, that's good.
But you know,
But yeah, totally back on the glass blowing thing. It's just amazing.
It
like,
is.
I had a friend growing up. She was in glass blowing, and she actually one of her wedding gift to me was actually a glass blowing ornament.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
that's
did it look like?
awesome.
I know. It was really really nice.
What
So
was it?
cool.
A globe.
Glass.
Oh, okay.
I'm scared of glass just with how fragile it is. Just
On
I
a
don't wanna be around
secondary note about that art museum, on first of all, I stepped out on the 3rd floor, and it was a far fall, and I'm afraid of heights. I was like, oh boy, this goes deeper. Like you come out, and then the museum goes down,
Oh.
and I was like, oh, okay,
No
because it was
thanks.
built around the chandelier. So then I walk
Intrusive
over, we go
thoughts.
up to the top floor, and there's this huge painting, like, I don't know, like 10 feet wide. That's like on the edge is like, on the left side is like a tree kind of close to you, and the right is like this mountainside, and then it's all like hills. So it looks like you're standing on the edge of a cliff, and I had to sit down.
Oh.
It was like making me unstable and shaky. It was probably the most I've ever felt from a piece of art. It was in a bad way, I guess, but also a good way. 'cause
I mean, it
They
made
did a
you
good
feel
job,
something.
yeah.
and I was like, I can't. And so we went down to the first floor, and I sat down. I was like, ah.
So-
You wouldn't be alone in that reaction.
You
I'd probably be there with you.
You keep saying it was
Yeah.
built around the. So was this chandelier like 5 stories tall?
No, it doesn't go down to the first floor. It can just be seen from every angle on all
okay.
3 floors.
Okay.
That's really cool, though.
And
That
from
is really
outside.
cool.
That's fascinating.
So it's like it's next to the stairwell.
How big was it?
in a
though?
corner? The thing.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know. It could have been 20 feet tall.
That's so much glass.
Oh
I
my
could be wrong.
gosh.
It could have been 10.
Well,
I can't imagine
big
how
is the point.
nerve wracking it was to hang that thing.
Right?
It was a student project.
That's
I
doesn't
I
make it
think
better.
so because I think I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's a student project.
That's a
They have a
student
lot of student art in there, and they were also changing the main exhibits, so I didn't really get to see one of the floors.
I don't want to be in charge of changing
But-
that exhibit.
I'm just
Ugh.
imagining
wasn't
like an
expect-
80-year-old. Hey, Charles, you still working on your student project?
So I wasn't really expecting much. I wasn't really expecting much from the community college art museum, but
Mhm.
like they have a lot of good stuff and like popular stuff on loan and whatnot and exhibits, and I was like, oh,
That's really
awesome.
cool.
Depending how you curate your artists, like artistry doesn't have to be limited to, that's the great thing about art is that artistry doesn't have to be limited to like these grand exhibitions or
Yeah.
high tier schools for art, which I don't know of.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they're
They're
just
all
in
in
a place you
France.
wouldn't expect them to be.
Yeah.
because they're just moved around,
Yeah.
and I thought that was awesome, and I
Whoa.
thought it was worth talking about.
That's
That is
cool.
cool.
Or
That's
you can
very
just
cool.
simply look outside and experience the art.
That's
of
lame.
nature.
I'd rather look at a picture.
Get
The
out of here,
magic
Get
and the
outta here,
beauty
Get
of
out.
the
Petite.
We
world.
live in a city, Petite. Get out of
Petite,
here.
I
Speak
read
for
comic
yourself.
books. I don't want to look at things. I
You're
want to look
going
at
to be.
things that are painted of things.
Unfortunately.
Reality sucks.
I wanna,
I want to see a painted representation of the nature I can look out my window of.
That's wow. That's sad.
Speaking of beautiful forms of art, the camera is doing a close-up of this amulet as it slow motion slides out of the lifeless limp hand of Saito, skitters across the stone floor, and spins to a stop right in front of Zephyr and Neros.
I immediately raise my hand and say, "Should I touch it?"
what is it up there?
Don't touch it.
Amulet. Touch. Pretty.
Don't.
Howard, would you grab it with your mage hand?
I'll use my mage hand to pick up the amulet.
I understand of wanting to grab it, but I don't think I should grab it considering what happened with the helmet.
What does the amulet look like?
It looks like a quiver and a sword crossing each other. It's made out of either gold or a gold-hued metal, but it's decorated with various precious gems that are like encrusted into it. And Howard, if you turn it over and look at the back with your mage hand, there's another rune on the back.
I'm not going to bring that up to Zephyr yet.
What about Uver?
Or Uver, my bad. I'm not going to bring that up to Uver yet. Like, should we Should we throw this in the lava?
I don't think so.
Would this be a contested roll if I just wanted to snatch it out of the mage hand?
I think if you were to try to snatch it from Alward and Alward doesn't want you to have it, I think you would have to make a disarm check.
I would like to try to snatch it.
Okay, so that would be an athletics check against his reflex DC.
But when you say you don't think it's good, I'm gonna be like, but if they want it, we can permanently stop them from having it.
That isn't a bad idea. We do have the forge and hammer.
Or we could just put it in the lava.
That's what I said.
I don't
And
think
then
I would
melt
want to
it.
trust this thing to not be.
Who's going to get it in lava?
Who's.
What'd you get?
I rolled a nat 1.
You fail.
So Zephyr, you turn around and you like go after the amulet, and then you realize you were like right about to step off the catwalk in your maneuvering, and you like reconfigure, but you were able to catch yourself and completely miss your chance to snatch at the amulet.
Do you want to look at it, Zephyr?
I'm not sure if I want to anymore.
Or, if we want to destroy it, we could go down to the forge and see if it could actually be melted before we just try and throw it into the lava.
Well, who's going to go after it?
Why are we thinking about destroying it?
I don't know, just ask Alwood.
Because if the Eridsons want this, and
Well,
we can make it to where they can't
I
get
thought
it.
he was coming for a sword. Is it that ghostly sword?
I don't know.
That
What?
would be the only
What?
sword that I've seen in this thing.
What? Does he have a sword on him? Like a normal weapon on him?
Yes,
the
he has a
body.
normal katana and a normal
Okay,
tanto.
but it's safe to assume that this ghostly sword is probably what he came for,
Is there a
compared to
roll
the
we can
regular
make?
sword. Like, I'll draw his regular sword.
Yeah, his regular sword just looks like a normal sword.
Okay, so it's definitely not that. Yeah, do we want to try and spend some time identifying this thing?
I'll do.
I'm gonna try
Read
to
aura.
keep it away from
I'm just gonna do read aura on it.
you. Okay.
I don't have to touch it for that.
Okay.
And I am going to loot the body.
Uber already said he doesn't want to necessarily. He doesn't think it'd be a good idea for him to touch it.
Yeah, he's just gonna.
yeah.
I'm gonna constantly keeping it face where the rune's facing me.
Oh, that's what you mean.
I will assist Zephyr in respectfully taking things off of this guy.
Oh, well, I'm not respectively doing anything.
I'm trying
Zephyr's
to...
punching him in the face, taking off his helmet.
Hey, I'm the only one who got hurt.
I want to prepare him for a burial, essentially.
So as Alward and Uver are working together, holding up that amulet, doing read aura, that takes 10 minutes to process. While that's going on, I imagine that Val is very politely, respectfully removing things from the body and passing them over to Zephyr, who's just like, would this fit me?
For every respectful
armor.
thing you do, I just do the opposite.
Zephyr, what you find as Val passes over to you, you get a suit of Oyori armor.
What?
It's Tian Sha
Can you
armor.
spell that?
Sure. O-Y-O-R-O-I.
It's essentially heavy
I
samurai
legit thought
armor.
you were about
Yes.
to say O-U-E-Y-E.
One-upping.
It is magical. You can tell because the way
Really?
that it is.
I had no idea that it was possibly magical.
Really?
You also find the katana and the tanto. And 160 gold pieces.
Ooh. Are you keeping all of that?
No, it's automatically split amongst the group. All loot.
And as you are finishing removing these items from the body, Uver, your read aura is complete, and you find that it has... this is difficult, and one of the reasons why I'm glad the remaster is removing the schools. Conjuration? Maybe evocation, but certainly conjuration magic. Yes,
Gotcha.
definitely evocation. Conjuration and evocation,
The amulet?
But not divination.
not divination.
The amulet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a non-reflective amulet. No divination.
Oh, this is certainly magical, but at least it doesn't have divination magic on it.
Well, I mean, we could assume it was magical. It had a ghost sword.
But we do have conjuration and evocation,
Well, the conjuration makes sense.
as the evocation does as well.
I do think it wouldn't. I don't think it would be beneficial to destroy it. I really don't.
Why?
I don't know. I have a feeling that we shouldn't destroy it yet.
All right, well, if we're not going to destroy it, Uver, and then I flip it around for you to see the rune.
Oh my, it has a rune that apparently it's very connected to the Eridsons.
Now that you're
Which
both
one is that
looking
one
at it,
again?
you recognize it as the same rune that's on the back of the brooch.
Oh.
Uver says that kind of sarcastically, and then he just stops as he actually reads it and goes, wait a minute. And then he pulls out the brooch. This the same rune?
Yeah, they robbed this off a guy. I don't know.
Do we need... I'm tempted.
Does the amulet fit within the brooch?
You had mentioned he raised a shield.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes. I forgot that one. It's on a different list is why I forgot it. It is a wooden tower shield.
Can anybody use shields?
Yes.
It's a very nice looking wood, though.
You can use it technically.
Really nice looking wood,
Yeah,
eh?
it's special kind of wood.
Can I, as they bring it up, I'm guessing? I don't know where everybody is at this moment. Yeah, they're right there.
At
They're
this
right next
point,
to me.
I think you're distracted with the amulet.
Sure. Okay.
Where did he get the amulet from? Is there like a pedestal or something?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
No.
It was presumed there's no body at any at the end of this walkway. There's just a dead end.
Yes, there's just a dead end. The catwalk just stops.
What if it's an illusion?
I don't think that this is the actual sword.
I don't think it is either. I think we'll have to continue to investigate. But bring the amulet. We could try.
Sure. Here.
And then with a second mage hand,
Yeah.
I'm going to put them together and see what happens.
Slowly, you bring the brooch of scales and the amulet together.
Nothing.
Nothing's happening.
Nothing happens.
They turn into a sword.
Oh!
Suddenly, the
keyblade.
amulet doubles in scale.
Megazord.
I'm going to give the amulet back and then...
The brooch. You gave me the brooch
the
back.
brooch back.
I want to walk to the end of the catwalk.
Zafia,
Yes.
you use bows and swords?
Yes.
Do you want this? And I float the thing to you.
Absolutely. I just pluck it off of your mage hand.
You may want to double check with the others, but
Neros, what are you up to?
I'm just looking.
Well, don't move too far.
I
Let's.
can't go any further.
Where did he get this?
That's what I'm looking for.
Well, let's go look.
Jordy's thinking.
Jordy is apparently thinking.
I'm trying to think if there's anything you can determine at this point.
Is there a wall in front of
Anything
me?
Neros can determine, or us in
Yes.
general?
Both. There is a wall about 10 feet out from the end of the catwalk, and on either side of you are massive, like 3 or 4 inch thick steel cables that are going out into the walls.
Can I throw something at the wall and see if it bounces back?
Here, throw this amulet.
I'm not going to do that.
So imagine on your way over, you picked up one of those chunks of scree
Sure.
that was dropped down from the ceiling earlier.
scree.
You throw it, and it clatters against the wall, and then you hear from below,
What's going on up there?
Oh, I don't remember what we named it.
and then you hear Cornelius.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Pilgrim. It's just me, Neros.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
how'd you get up there?
It took a catapult, technically. We'll be down in a few minutes, maybe.
All right, we've almost got something made for you. I'll have to show it to you when you get down.
Okay.
is anybody else hoping he's made like a mastercraft weapon?
Val, after getting the body prepared, starts saying rites there next to the edge.
Uver goes up to where Neros is and looks up.
So as you look up from where you're standing, the walls of the interior begin to slope inward in a dome-ish shape. And in the very center, there is an opening in the ceiling that goes out in a sort of a chimney construction. But the tiling and like chiseling treatment of the interior continues all the way up until it reaches that chimney.
Like an air shaft.
Yeah.
Alward would like to go watch Val perform the rites on the body.
Hello.
So I took that amulet.
Mhm.
I just plucked it out of the mage hand. And I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good. Okay.
Is it a wearable amulet?
I'm gonna work on it later.
So you take it, nothing happens.
That and the magical armor that I apparently have.
I don't know if you can wear heavy armor.
I can.
I can wear it. I just can't operate in it.
I just can't do anything.
I can wear anything.
disguise. So, when she's finished with the rites, she kind of wraps the body and then drops it into the lava and says a goodbye. May Pharasma judge your soul worthy of what you deserve, whether that be Elysium or hell.
Do you think Pharasma sends them to like other planes aside from those two?
Oh yes,
Like all,
there are
like,
several.
Well, I was like, do you think she sends them like sometimes to the plane of fire, the plane of law?
Not from
Plane of
my
Earth.
general readings. There's at least, and I think it might just be 9. There might be a few more specific afterlife realms, planes that she sends the souls to. Though I'm sure exceptions always exist.
I never got real big into that whenever I had to learn about Abaddon and Asmodeus, so.
Oh, well, they're not too concerned about what happens in the afterlife. They're more
It's
concerned
true.
about what they can take from the people in the material plane.
Well, I mean,
I'm back at the end of the catwalk with Neros and Uver. What are you two doing now?
Uver's just going to try and see where, if anywhere, in this supposed room or this holy, whatever the kobolds called it,
Sacred.
sacred doorway, where this thing could have been other than just. Because I assume it would just fall through the grating if it.
Yeah.
It's definitely small enough that it would slip through a hole.
Right. Just where it would have come from. It's very vague, but I don't have much to go on.
He opened an arid.
There is more of this area that we have yet to
that is
explore.
true. There's
Yeah.
a whole extra room.
I was.
What?
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything that you could glean.
While Uver is looking around, I'm just, without saying anything, going to walk away and head down the stairs and turn left.
I'll go with you when you.
Because
walk by.
that was my plan anyway.
As Val walks away from the edge, I kind of walk up to the edge, do a half really disrespectful salute, and I go, "May you rot in lava."
I am also following.
Uver will turn around after realizing everybody's left and go back.
Rustiford, unbidden, flies back to Zephyr.
Oh, whoops.
So, you all go down the stairs and begin heading down the remaining portion of the Troll Forge that you have yet to explore.
Oh, as we're walking in here, Val's like, "Oh, Zephyr, I forgot. Are you all right? You're hurt."
I could use some help.
And she'll lay on hands for 18 hit points back.
Nice.
As you come around the corner, it opens into a very dusty, unkept room that has like a small ledge that goes down a spiral staircase and onto the first floor that you came in. With a little bit of thought, it's pretty easy to determine that the door at the other side of the room is the locked door that you found when you first entered this structure.
Do you think we can unlock it from
There-
this side?
There are also a collection of chests on the first floor.
Are there any disturbances in the dust that you had mentioned? As if to say he was in this room?
Yes. There's a lot of footprints all over.
Do any of the chests seem messed with?
There are a couple that are open and are empty. There are a few that are still closed.
Oh, I bet Havel's armor's in that.
2 chests that are open and 1 that isn't opened.
2 that are opened and empty, and then 3 that are still closed.
Oh, I misunderstood completely.
Is anyone going to risk it?
Albert, could you open them from here?
I'm gonna try to. I'm assuming they're locked, but I'll shimmy them and I'll shake each one with a mage hand.
I have my mage hand.
Yeah.
I have my mage hand.
We gave each
too.
other mage hand high fives.
Also,
I know, but I
Zephyr,
forgot that I had prepped it.
Zephyr, you can also make tools out of your shadows.
Jordy.
The temptation was strong,
You have no.
I am
but
glad.
all 3 of the chests are normal chests.
It's
Thank you. Oh my
It's
gosh.
the door that's the mimic.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said that there were chests in this room, I'm like, I swear if one is a mimic,
Oh, we
I'm
would-
Same.
going to rage quit and
we
go
would,
home.
We would pwn a mimic at
We
this
really
level.
But do any of them just open from my jostling?
Yeah, they all seem loose.
I will also jostle
Like-
some.
Can I open any of them?
Yes, so as you are all jostling and loosening, each of the chests can be opened. I'm sure that a mage hand can open a chest.
Anything fun in the chest?
Well, are you getting close?
Yeah,
There's fungus.
As you get close to the chests, you see inside of them.
a mouth.
Teeth.
In summary, there are a bunch of old coins inside the chests that, from your skill in society, you know that you could probably pawn and sell and, get to antiques collectors and such, and probably make about 120 gold off of the collection of antique coins.
Hey,
Can we just say that happens?
Yes. My general rule is I like to flavor
24.
loot that you find and not necessarily always have it be gold, but if I give you the gold currency and it's not an item, just say it's gold. But that's about all you find in the chests.
Actual question though, do you think we can open that door? Because it would be a lot better than having to jump across to
I
lava.
would agree. Let us try and go down and open the door.
I'll go down and try to open it.
I'll go with her.
I'm sure an architect or an engineer could tell me what this is called, but when you get to the door, there's on each of them there's a thing where you grab a vertical bar and you turn it horizontal and it pulls a deadbolt aside. And if you do it on both, then the door is free to open.
Double bar.
Mage hands.
Lock. It's called a lock.
I bet you. I would presume that his armor and his shield probably came from the other chests, perhaps.
Maybe his shield. I don't know about his.
What
Actually, I
what's
don't know.
special about the shield? Well, obviously I know something about this armor. I couldn't do anything.
This shield is wooden.
I could believe that the gold in the amulet came from the chest.
If I look at the shield, can I tell something?
Crafting check.
Okay.
Did you unlock the door?
Are we ready to unlock the door?
I thought
14.
you just did it.
With a 14, you know that the wood is unique. It's not just like oak or something like that, but you're not sure exactly what it is. It seems to be some sort of exotic wood.
This is not normal wood. This
You
is,
like it? I don't need it.
It's probably from Tian Shaw.
That would be an area that I'm not, well, familiar with, as much as I'm used to say that nowadays. I cannot use a shield. I personally don't need one.
If
Perhaps
anybody else like it, I'll just sell it if...
Perhaps you... Val.
If I were to keep a shield, it would not be a tower shield. I'm traveled in more of a circular shields. I think it's best. We
What-
might sell it.
So, as you were mouthing to me, Jenkins, a 24 in crafting will let you know that this is a dark wood shield.
That's not bad.
Do I know what dark wood does or means?
It's a wood that's like as hard as metal.
Oh.
Let's get dangerous.
And it's very often used when you're crafting something magical, because otherwise it would be prohibitively expensive.
Wait, so is the shield magical?
Most likely.
Probably be able to get some money out of it if none of us can use it.
I mean, I can use it, but I'm not going to.
What about the armor? Can you use the armor, Val?
I don't want to wear that.
It's dead man's armor. That's a little weird.
It's also pretty ugly.
It's extremely terrible, though.
It's not for me.
I don't
use
know
it?
how I'm carrying it. It's kind of crazy.
If I use armor, my AC goes down.
Well, I think we should go back, get our tents, get Cornelius, say goodbye. Well, or I mean, he
We
could
could just
come along with
leave.
us.
Or we,
I want my tent.
basically, we're done with this dungeon, right?
We also have to let the kobolds know we completed our end of the bargain.
And give them the amulet.
No, the amulet's ours.
I will stay down here
But
so we can send a couple representatives.
what door were they referencing?
We don't. The
The-
door.
There was a
No
door at the
idea.
top of the stairs
Yeah.
that was already open that led
But
up
that
to the
didn't seem
catwalk.
like some sort of highfalutin
They
potent
they
door.
could
Secret
they
door.
could have just societally given it a grander purpose, or they know something more about the door than we do.
Regardless,
Did we look at the door?
Let's do a flashback.
Shunk-unk-unk-unk.
As you reach the top of the stairs, you see a massive ornate door that has been recently opened. There's a series of sliding tiles, like there was some kind of puzzle on the door that's been recently solved that
glad we
allows the
didn't have
doors
to
to be
solve
opened.
The director's cut answers so many questions.
Flashback to the present.
Wow,
Well,
I'm
flash
so
forward?
glad Jordy told
Um,
us that all
I
a
know
long time
it
ago.
was so
Yeah.
useful. But regardless, we need to bring some part of that armor to the kobolds so they know that.
We can
He
keep
is
the
dead.
brooch.
So we can
No.
keep the brooch and let them know our
Oh,
deal is
yes.
done. I need to get my tent back. and then we need to get Cornelius and maybe Pilgrim and leave,
The helmet,
Well,
I think, would be best.
probably.
I just wanted to clarify. I thought you said give the brooch.
No,
I mean,
keep
we could
the
also just
brooch.
take the shield. I mean, that would, if we're talking about monetary, they might want to keep it, and we may not get as much for a full set of armor
That's true.
than a shield.
I could enjoy the shield.
They'd probably light it on fire.
Just let it on ice.
I mean, if they light it on fire, what's to us?
That's fair.
I'll take the shield back to them
I'll
since
go.
I'm the only one who can talk to him.
I'll go with you to get my tent.
Actually, the chief is the one that we need to give it back to, and he speaks common.
Oh,
And I am the one with the brooch.
all right. Well, if you want to head back, then I can stay here in case something else happens.
He is waiting for us at the entrance because we asked him to.
Oh, so
Oh, right. I forgot we asked.
so it's literally just right over there.
Yeah, so he's just right there.
They're literally right there.
I want my tent.
Then, oh, right. Maybe they brought it for you.
Maybe they did.
So are you guys going to open the locked door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You open the door. For the third time, I think, in this dungeon, dramatic Aragorn through the doors. And as you come through, there's Chieftain Arbu,
Oh,
3 other kobolds standing there with him. And he looks up from the sundial strapped on his wrist, and he's like, "You're later than I expected."
Zafir just looks around. Is there a sun in here?
He sticks his arm outside.
as grand craftsmen like yourselves should know, quality work takes time.
The kobolds all nod to each other, including one of the kobolds that's holding a bundled tent.
Can I have my tent back?
She walks up and is like, "Here's your tent." In common.
I'll take my tent back too.
You didn't put your tent up.
I did
That
too.
was-
You did?
There were
I
They
put
were
mine
bundled
and
together.
his.
It was
I'll-
easier to carry that way.
I'll unbundle them later. Right now they're in my backpack.
You better give me the right one.
I will.
Uver just walks up to the chieftain and just sets a shield. And here is the promised payment for the brooch.
The chieftain squints at the shield, looks at all of you, and then nods. Our home is safe again.
Aye.
Anything else we can do? Like, nah, I shouldn't ask that.
If you wanted to establish secure trade routes with the other people in the area, we have nothing to trade, but we would love to get stuff.
We'll see what we can do. If you get someone, try not to kill them on first glance.
Yeah, be a little more cautious about hurting people for stuff.
You're right.
The crafting gods don't like that stuff.
We will be cautious not to hurt other people for stuff.
I'm glad you learned a lesson.
I don't think they
That's,
did.
that's great to hear, chieftain.
I think it would be best if we go pick up Cornelius and Pilgrim.
Right.
Yeah.
Cornelius. She looks at Zafir and Neros. Like, Cornelius. Right.
Cornelius, yes.
Thinking back to how you two are like, Cornelius could lead us. instead of
Oh!
Alfred.
The chieftain and 2 of his kobolds scamper off. The third one's just kind of sitting there, just like looking at Zafir, Val, and Neros, just smiling.
I want to give it a hug.
She accepts the hug gladly.
I give it a little pat with my mage hand.
Can we take it with us?
I'll toss her up on my
That's
shoulder.
kidnapping.
You're not keeping a kobold
It's not
pet.
kidnapping if they accept it.
I
I,
don't know that the entire village will accept us taking one of their kobolds
I
with
don't
us.
know if other
I'm a
societies will
scout.
accept us with a kobold.
I will grab her and put her up on my shoulders.
Aww.
Whilst we go get the others.
All right,
Oh my
Tiny Tim,
gosh.
let's go.
What's your
I-
name, by the way, little one?
Oh, my name's Ruby.
How old are you?
Adolescent for a kobold.
I see.
And you're a scout?
Yeah. I'm a good one, too.
Can you drink coffee?
No?
That wasn't her. That was the
That
foreman
was
of
another
the bridge.
kobold.
Oh,
I hope he's doing okay. I don't
Sorry.
think they're supposed to ingest caffeine.
all of you look the same to me.
That's racist.
Wow.
Petite.
Petite, go home.
That's so racist.
I mean, he's a,
Zafir just feels a whack.
She
The back
reaches
of his
into
head.
like a pouch on her side and just pulls out a little rock and throws it at you. It's just like a ding.
So you get a double whack.
He just gave me lay on hands. Don't kill me now, Jordy.
It does 72 damage.
You take 1 damage rounded down
To
to 0.
To 0.
You just hurt me. My brain went through what Uver's did with the symbol. Everything just came flooding in all at once.
All right.
All your memories.
Cornelius.
As you walk around the corner into the forge proper, you see Pilgrim with his back to you, and he's holding over his head a massive sword,
Whoa.
like sized for his scale.
Dang.
What
It's the special sword.
you did something good there, Pilgrim?
I felt appropriate, he says, and he turns around. He's just looking at it. There's been lots of fighting, and I thought I'd make something to commemorate it.
What if it's the special sword that had to be crafted by the hands of a troll, and why it was called Trollforge?
I don't think they would send that person to go
Maybe they
get
didn't know
something
that.
doesn't exist.
It's magic.
Uver's gonna look at the sword and see if it's something that he could conceivably see a troll forging.
Oh, you think somebody wanted this sword? What for?
Bad things.
Very bad.
Oh, it couldn't hurt a fly. And he, like, pushes it up against the wall, and it just, like, bends.
Oh,
And then he, like, pulls it back off and just, like, straightens it out with 2 fingers.
that's fun.
It's decorative.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
To answer Uver's question, it's actually really good craftsmanship. Like, the design and, like, what metal he made it out of, that it could be bent like that and then just straightened back out again.
Iron?
You're not even sure, like, what dwarvish craftsman could do that.
Uver just stares at him and like, Pilgrim, may I see that sword?
Oh, be careful. It's not sharp, but it's heavy. And he hands it to you.
How heavy is it?
It like 50 pounds. So it's heavy, but it's not like unreasonable.
Well, the reason why I ask is metals, does it seem like iron or something else?
It's lighter than iron. I mean, when I say this is a massive sword, it's like 8 feet long.
Right. Which if that was iron, I have an idea of how much that would weigh. So,
Yeah, it's very light for its size.
gotcha.
But it's certainly not like a mithril compound,
Right.
because then it would be much firmer and it wouldn't be able to be bent like against the wall like that.
Can I make a check and see if I can figure out what metal that is?
Crafting check. Anybody else who's interested?
I would like to aid. I don't think I'd want to know specifically.
I hope I only have a +4 in crafting.
I give you.
I got
a
24.
What's
What
a
do you have in
critical success
crafting?
on
9.
crafting?
Oh, good point. That makes sense.
I get it from my deity.
I
What's
have
it?
made 2 rolls in this session. Both
Don't-
of them are
don't aid
natural
me.
ones.
I got a 6.
Oh, I mean, I could just take it.
You could
I
have just
don't-
aided me.
No. Wow. I rolled a 27.
So Alward and Val are a little bit more confident about what they're determining. They're reasoning that it's got to be some form of an alloy and not like a pure metal, because they haven't heard of any metal that on its own could do this. But what kind of alloy? No clue. As far as Uver and Zephyr go, it's like all bets are off. It's something made out of some kind of metal.
Well,
Where did you get
That's made
the
out of
metal for
paper.
this sword, Pilgrim? If you don't mind my asking.
Oh, in the storerooms and around the place, and I got some minerals outside, and just threw it all in a pot and stirred it up.
Pilgrim, who taught you to forge like this?
I guess it's just a knack of figuring it out as I go.
I believe the expression is hammers and tongs. You must have been blessed by Shalin and Torag to be able to do such wonderful crafting.
That must be it.
Are the strips of cloth that I gave him in it at all?
It looks like he made the hilt, like the handguard wrappings out
Hand
of
wrap.
that.
Yes! Pilgrim, I have seen many beautiful craftsmanship made by dwarves of my race. People of my race, the dwarves. Beautiful pieces of craftsmanship and masterful work. And for someone that supposedly has just picked up a hammer and worked on a forge and just found random materials, this is Beautiful.
Well, it's a very good forge. Would you like to take it with you as a memorandum? And he starts rolling the blade up from the tip down.
I'll take it, sure.
Can we even straighten it out?
Sure. After he finishes rolling it, he like holds the hilt and just like flicks his wrist, and it just like rapidly unrolls. And then he flicks his wrist again. It rolls back up.
Pilgrim, I think you might be the smith of an age.
Thank you greatly, kindly, good sir. I'm just a humble troll making his way in the world. I think I might make a horseshoe next.
That would be wonderful. Very lucky horse.
Oh, is there anything you'd like me to make for you?
Can he wear the armor that I got?
It would be a bit small on me.
Oh, darn it. I want to protect him at all costs.
If you really wanted a project, I could use some new armor. This stuff's getting old and beaten. If you want to test your hand at crafting all these embellishments.
And he looks down and seems to like notice for the first time, your hands don't match.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I lost my arm and now it's been replaced with a facsimile prosthetic.
You could try crafting her a new arm.
He just kind of squints a bit and he's like, that will take a bit longer than a simple foldy sword, but I'll get started right away.
Very honored, sir.
How are we gonna get it from him? He's so far away.
We'll come back.
Sorry, Alward's still reeling at the fact that this troll just made something that's like impossible.
In less than a day.
Yeah, in less than a day.
Pilgrim.
Yes.
Can you set the doors on the great doors in the front again?
Oh, yes, I'm going to do that probably tomorrow. I don't want to draft getting in.
I think you had better do that and close them, protecting yourself as you do your work.
Oh, of course, yes.
There are people in this world that would not understand.
Wouldn't want to waste your hard work getting rid of all the monsters in here.
Speaking
it
of
is
other
not-
creatures, the kobolds, they're around.
Oh, you mean like that one? And he points at Ruby.
Yes. Pay no mind to them, they're nice.
They may be able to help you with items.
Oh, that's an idea. And I could give them little things.
Would you be able to talk to your chief, Ruby, about this?
Ruby, looks over at you. I thought I was coming with you. She said I could come with you. And she points at Neros.
Wait, what?
Only if the tribe allows it.
Oh, they don't care. I'm a scout.
We'll want to get confirmation with them.
Yeah, I don't want them to think that we took you against your will or
Young
anything.
kobold.
She just crosses her arms. What?
A great scout you may be, and you are to your people, and you should stay and serve your people.
But I'm a scout. I have to go find things and bring them back.
Where we are going, we may not come back, and we do not wish that upon you.
But then you're going the bestest places to scout.
But you may not come back, and what would be your purpose?
To be a scout.
But if they're places that no one's ever been back from...
No, we may die, all of us.
I think as long as the tribe's alright with it, it should be fine.
No.
And we'll just make sure she's not with us when we go into particular
Val.
dangers.
That is not how these adventures work.
That's how it worked this time for Cornelius.
The places that we go to and are going to go to, especially one that I can think of, there is no guarantee of coming back.
I know.
Do
It's
you
the
wish
same
to
with
put
all
that
of us.
upon an innocent creature,
If that's what she wants to do.
an adolescent?
I mean, I trust her to protect herself more than I trust Cornelius
Val.
to protect himself, and he's always with us.
Cornelius is a lot older than you. A lot older than this kobold.
And he could help protect her.
No, Val.
Kobolds also don't live long.
And I wish this one to have a long life.
Val, if I may interject, I was robbed of my childhood. And I would not wish that on anyone, even if they saw themselves as a scout.
I'm not a child.
She's an adolescent.
You're an adolescent that's still young.
I'm like, she counts on her fingers. I'm like 19 in human years.
It's true.
That's still
Which
young.
means she is old enough to make
She's
her own decisions.
about as old as I am, almost.
Yeah,
Cons-
Uver
comparatively.
would have the same opinion of you, but there's a difference here.
I think we're on an adventure that needs to be done by us, and you can find your own adventures.
Is this a democracy?
Technically,
We don't really have a leader.
maybe you could have a democracy and still have a leader.
I know, but that's why I'm saying we don't really have a leader. It's kind of a democracy.
I don't wish to cause harm to someone who was not an original part of this dangerous, very dangerous. I
Howard
hesitated to call
turns
it
his
mission.
head to Val.
Neither was I. I was cooped up in my life until Cornelius gave me an opportunity to leave, much like this opportunity. And while I've been hurt, I've grown nothing better than being shut in a house all my life.
And are you saying that this kobold is the same as you? Are you saying this
I don't
kobold
know.
who is a scout?
Maybe she is,
Part
but
of her people that can leave and around this place, but we're going to drag her into there,
we're-
possibly put her entire village in danger
We're
if they
not-
find out about them.
we're not dragging her if it's her own choice.
Think about the consequences of your actions, Val.
It's her choices, not ours, Uver.
We can
Just
choose not
because-
to take her.
Well, we could also choose to give her a life of her
She
choosing
has a
instead of
life.
another old man
She
trying to
has-
control a young child. Like a fool.
Val!
Uh,
Listen to yourself and understand the consequences of what you are saying.
You know, I wish
You
I
are
wi-
trying to control things yourself now.
Howard's going to grab the kobold child and be like, let's just get out of this room, shall we?
Ruby just like nods.
Cornelius, do you want to come? Pilgrim, do you want to come?
Let's give them some time. Cornelius and Pilgrim follow you out.
Do not think to project your own situation on others.
It's not what I'm doing.
It is what you are doing.
No, it's not. She's gonna just leave out the front door, main door.
Why are the young... What have you done, Amir?
So Val, you're just walking out the front door.
Mm-hmm.
You walk past Alward, Ruby, Pilgrim,
Yep,
Cornelius.
she's going off into the woods.
Howard is just doing his best to like distract the child with like little bits of magic and mage hands and stuff. I know
I'll
it's not a
clarify,
child.
she's not a
I know
child.
it's not a child,
She's
but like
just small.
her
said she was
being
an
the size she
adolescent.
is and being an adolescent, Howard's like he would with his sister, like, you don't need to see this. It's fine.
Make a perception check.
13.
That's good enough.
Oh.
She's humoring you.
I figured.
Saphir is going to follow
Oh.
out the door.
Ruby, why do you want to come with us anyway?
Because it's an adventure. It's kind of just boring, just scouting around the same places around here. There's nothing interesting going on.
That's
Then you guys showed up, you killed all the monsters, you made this place so much better, and now you're going to go off and make everything else better, and I want to come and be a part of it.
Has Uver walked into the room yet?
Is there a hammer in there?
In the smith, the
in the
forge proper?
In the forge proper.
Yeah, there are a couple hammers that looks like Pilgrim's kind of collected.
From the other room, you're just going to hear a ring of hammer on steel.
Okay. I'm gonna approach you.
Okay. That's fine. You're going to just see him. He just has essentially a nothing fancy, just a piece of a metal bar or something, a scrap. And he's just, obviously he's heating it up and is just hammering almost as if he's in thought. Over and over again. Just the ting, ting, ting. You can't even see a shape he's necessarily going for. It's just
Okay. I'm gonna call out to just Ure.
yes, Neros. Ting,
So you don't turn around and look at her.
ting. He acknowledges you're there, but he's continuing what he's doing.
I am going to walk around to where she's basically forcing you to face her.
Mm-hmm.
And just Uwe. Look
Ting.
at me.
And he just stops and looks at the metal in front of him, and then looks up. Yes, Neros.
I understand where you're coming from, but you went too far.
Too far.
You went too far. Val was just trying to stand up for somebody, and I think you just blew it out of proportion.
I think a lot of things have gone too far, Neros. As he just walks over and it starts heating up the metal again. I think Hamir went too far. I think whatever happened with Alwood and his family has gone too far. I think whatever happened with me and your mother and the party that I might have been a part of went too far. I think as he brings it back and just does this bang, way too hard for anything, Craftsman. I have lived too long.
What are you saying?
I shouldn't be alive, Neros. As he just looks at the obviously now way too flat ruined piece in front of him. The standard age of my people is at most my age. And the dwarves that have lived that long have long put up the hammer, so to speak, as he just motions to the hammer that's, I would imagine, rather large, and he just lifts easily and kind of flips it and catches it. And have settled things with our family and prepared themselves to go to Torag or whatever. And yet here am I. Just drops the hammer on the anvil. Still alive. Feeling as if I was still a young dwarf. With a memory in pieces, but still seems like I've lived too long. Yeah, perhaps I went too far, Neros. And I'll have to deal with that later. But what am I to do? I
Not
don't
project
want-
your own frustrations onto someone who is just trying to stand up for someone else. That's all I'm saying. I understand that you're frustrated with your situation. I am frustrated with your situation because you are the closest thing I have found to figuring out who my family is, what they are, where they went. You're not the only one that's frustrated, but that does not give you the right to take it out on other people.
Did you not perhaps think that I'm not the only one projecting, Neros? Yes, perhaps I got angry.
Yeah, you can say
and
that. You were screaming at her. And I understand she's frustrated too.
She's frustrated and she's young, Neros.
Yeah,
She's
so
been
am
through
I.
things horrible that she at her age should never have been through.
It's not a perfect world.
No, it isn't, but I'm trying to save at least one.
I
in
don't-
that moment that doesn't have to go through that again, Neros.
I'm not saying that Ruby should go with us. I don't think she should, but the fact that you were literally screaming at somebody else, I don't think that was right. And you owe her an apology. And I understand you said that you will deal with it later. But good Lord, that was uncalled for. And you saying that we're young and we don't understand, you understand what consequences of actions are. Act like it. And I'm going to walk out and go toward Val.
So while that's going on, and like hear muffled yelling beyond the thing, I'm just gonna look at the kobold and say, "So you want to come with us because you're bored?"
I want to come with you because I want to make my life matter. I don't want to just go out and pick berries and bring them back and then dream about big things. I want to be a part of all that what's going on.
I'm normally not one to break any rules, but just because we say no, and if you feel safe and feel like you can keep yourself safe, doesn't mean you can't follow us until it isn't an option.
She starts small smile and nods.
But don't do that.
She nods again. Right, because that would be disrespectful.
It would be very disrespectful, and you could get hurt.
Right. I should just head home and not pack my things.
Exactly. You should head home and gather some berries.
She winks and then scampers off into the cave, just past Neros as she's coming out. And with that, we're going to, camera's going to like drift to the side and pass by like a corner. And as it passes the corner, we come out on the other side and we're coming around a tree. And we see Val still walking away from Trollforge deeper into the forest.
She is pacing back and forth. Her armor's off at this point, and Sigrun is up in the tree, kind of looking down at her, and she's pacing. She's yelling a bunch of stuff at herself, and she kind of angrily grabs onto like a branch or some like a small plant, like a bigger plant coming out of the ground, with her left hand. She's like, "It's never going to go away. He's always going to be there. Uver is just another Hamir. Every time I try to do something good, someone is there. Feels like they always get in my way. What am I supposed to do?" And she turns up to Sigrun and she's like, "Can't you, like, say something or do anything? You're supposed to help me, right? I don't know what to do."
Sigrun just kind of cocks her head like a bird, just ruffles her feathers a bit.
"Well, it's good to have you here anyway." And Val walks over to like a river or a creek nearby and sits down. And behind her, the camera kind of stays on the plant and it begins to decay. And when the camera turns around to see Val's face, the very vague paint of a skull grows a little less faint and a little more pronounced.
And that's where we'll end this episode.
That emotion's not going to be there next session,
I'm sorry,
Jordy.
can we get multiple hero points? Do we level
I
up?
vote for multiple hero points.
And you all level up.
So bittersweet.
As such, everybody has gotten 1 hero point for leveling up, and I have been talked into providing hero points additional on top of the level up hero points to Sam, Sven, and Abby for that awesome role-playing scene. I thought this was going to be a fun little ep, but that turned into something amazing. So hero points, kudos to you all. That'll wrap us up for the end of this chapter, and we will see you all in the next episode. This has been an Atomic Broadcasting production. Pathfinder, Galarian, and the Lost Omens world setting are copyright of Paizo. More information at paizo.com. Music in the show is from Monument Studios' collection, as well as assorted artists, with some original tracks composed by Jordy Hake. More details in the description. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to share with a friend, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time.
Should I touch it?
What are you talking about?
No, Zafia. Zafia, don't. What was that?
I don't know.
Also,
What?
Some I thought you were
weird
gonna say,
voice just
"Speaking of
came out of
reality
his
sucking."
mouth. Are you going to be... Can you...
Do your do your
What is it up there?